So today's class is about the issues that happens in real time with SSISDB and how to sync up the jobs in Always On. Actually, I thought of showing you how to install DBA tools offline. I did that, but again, I am not in a position to create one more machine. I didn't get time to do that, but I will show you the steps. You can just follow that steps if you wanted to install DBA tools. So that is the agenda for today's class. Okay, so before I move on, I would like to delete the SSISDB and I will show you from the scratch. This happens quite regularly, guys, so that there is some importance for this. That is why I'm taking this class, especially with SSISDB. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, Vamsi.
Okay. So now I'm deleting SSISDB on both nodes. Okay. Nothing is there. Let's refresh. I'll make this as node 1 as primary, and then we'll start the class. It's done now. So now I'm going to create SSISDB. Imagine in your companies, definitely you will have SSISDB for hosting these packages, and in few cases you will add those SSIS packages, SSISDB to Always On, right? So that it can sync across all the replicas at one shot. Even if it gets failed over, we need not do anything. So that's the advantage of having SSISDB into Always On availability group, right? So I hope you worked on at least you have seen SSISDB being part of availability groups, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, Vamsi.
Okay, so now let's create SSISDB. So how to create SSISDB? It's not like going here and create SSISDB, as you know. So we have to create it from integration services catalogs. Okay, so nothing is there. Everything is empty. So before I do that, I just wanted to check one thing from my end. So now I'm creating the catalog. We have to create catalog. So once you create the catalog, you will get the SSISDB. So I'm clicking on that, and the name will be SSISDB. You can't change it, and I'm giving a password for it. Okay, so now I'm giving a password, and I'm creating the SSISDB. Okay, it got created here, and if I refresh now, you will see SSISDB as part of my database. So now I need to add this database. So initially, at least I have to take one full backup for me to add that into Always On. So I'm just taking one full backup database SSISDB to disk. I think there is one folder I can make use of it. G:, okay, G::log. It's done. So now I will come here and I will try to add that SSISDB. Add database. And here is my SSISDB, and it is saying password is required. So what should I do now? If I supply the password, will it allow me, or should I go with the backup and restore and make it as join only? So there is a difference, guys. Try to understand this. Okay, there is a difference. This is not an encrypted, this is not an TDE database. Okay, there is no TDE on SSISDB. If you check this out, select star from sys databases, there is no TD on this. It's just the column level encryption what it has. There is a difference. I will show you even in that screen. Name is encrypted and is master key. Okay, so E is encrypted. If you see E is encrypted as one, means that that database is part of transparent database encryption. TD is enabled on that database. So this is different. This is different. These two are different. Okay, don't get confused. That's what I'm trying to say. These two columns are different. This column is tied to TDE. This column is different from this. Okay, now when it comes here, if you see, I just ran this query, right? So DB1 is having TDE, AdventureWorks 2016 is having TDE. So if I go here and if you see, it says for DB1 contains a database encryption key. If you see this message, it means it's TDE enabled. Okay, even for AdventureWorks, this contains the same message, contains a database encryption key. This is also a TDE database. So you cannot add a TDE database from GUI. Remember that. Okay. You cannot add a database from GUI if it is TDE enabled. Even if I try to click this, it's not allowing. Okay. Whereas SSISDB is something different. It has column level encryption, and that column level encryption is being encrypted by master service master key. This is different. This is completely different. So now if you see the message here for SSISDB, it says password is required. So if I supply the password, it will work. So did you get the difference? One is TDE, the other one is column level encryption. Both are completely different. You cannot add a TDE database from GUI, but you can add column level encryption. If you supply the password, it will allow you to do that. So that's the difference. Any questions here before I move on?
No, Vamsi.
Okay, so password, I have to supply the same password of what I created at the time of SSISDB. Okay, so I am just supplying the same thing. And now, even if you supply it, it will not allow you to click on it. You have to click on refresh. Don't forget to click on refresh. Otherwise, it won't allow. Now I got this box. I can click on SSISDB. So it says it meets the prerequisites. Now I click on next. I'm connecting to second node. Next, and it is automatic seeding. It's fine. And then see this warning. So it says you need to enable always on support under integration services catalogs after adding the SSISDB into availability group. So what it is saying is you have to go here and you have to enable this option once you are done with adding of databases. That's what it is saying. It's fine. So once we are done, we will do that. Next, and then finish. So it's done now. Now if I check, let me refresh both the instances. And if I go to my SSIS databases, I can see SSISDB over here, and even I can see SSISDB over here. So what it is asking me to do after adding the SSISDB is right click on this and enable the always on support. So now click on connect, just connect is fine, and just click on OK. That's it. So these are the steps to add SSISDB. Of course, these are there on the internet. This is not a great thing. My intention is to show you the difference between transparent database encryption and column level encryption while adding it to always on using the graphical user interface. That is first thing. Now coming back to our topic. So now SSISDB is part of our always on. So now if I go here, nothing is there. And even if I open it, nothing is there. Okay. Just if I create the project or folder, I will say demo folder. So it got created over here, and since that SSISDB is part of always on, automatically I got the demo folder. So that's the beauty of adding SSISDB to always on. So whatever the actions what you perform on primary, it will get replicated to secondary. So I need not worry about my packages, even if it gets failed over from node 1 to node 2. So till this point, I hope there are no questions. If any, let me know. Okay, so I'll consider that it's fine. So now imagine I have few packages. I have to install those packages. So I will come here, okay, and then I will say import packages. I have few packages, so I will try to import them. So it is there on my G drive. So I'm acting like a developer, okay? For a moment, imagine that I'm acting like a developer. So I have some package. So I'll pick this package, and then I am trying to insert this into SSISDB. So project name, I will say demo project. Next, convert. So it is converting. We have two models in SSIS. Previously we have package deployment and project deployment. So it is converting from package to project. So that's what it is doing. So now I got the screen where I can deploy my package. So it is validating, and now I have to host my package into SSIS. So I'm doing this. We have other options like Azure Data Factory and Synapse Analytics. As of now, I'm not touching these areas. So we are currently concentrating on this part. Okay, so now I am deploying that onto SQL Node 1. Next, okay, and then I'm saying deploy. So it is trying to deploy my package, and it is successful. So now if I go here and if I refresh this, so I got the demo project and my package is here, sales territory. So if I check on the secondary node, it will appear. So demo project, packages, sales territory. So everything is working fine. Beautiful. Fine. Very good. Now let's do a failover. Node 1 is currently primary. So now I am failing it over to node 2. So I'll come here and I will initiate the failover. Okay, node 2 is primary now. So SSISDB is primary on node 2 now. So now I got one more requirement. I mean, developers are deploying their packages. So they came here. So they are going to deploy one more package. So I'm deploying salesperson this time. And then I'm clicking on deploy. So it got failed. We didn't do anything, right? We didn't do anything. We just failed over from node 1 to node 2. Unfortunately, developers are trying to deploy their packages and they got this error. It says, please create a master key in the database or open the master key in the session before performing this operation. This happens in real time quite regularly. If you work on these kind of issues, you'll get to know. So now you tell me what needs to be done. Anyone there?
Yes, Vamsi.
So what should we do?
Maybe extract the master key from the primary and create it in the secondary.
Can we extract passwords, master key, something like that? Is there such option? There is no option like that to extract the master key.
Script out, maybe.
No, there is nothing like that. I mean, it's okay. I wish, I mean, if it happens, it's okay, but there is no such option for the moment.
Do we have to regenerate the database master key, the secondary?
Why should I regenerate? Because we added it, right?
That means failover happened, right, from one node to another node.
Okay, failure happened. So what should I do now to overcome this? You said, what is that option, what you are saying?
To regenerate the database master key for the SSISDB.
regenerate the master key. So how should I do that?
That means alter with alter command using the regenerate keyword. We can do it with normal database we are doing in the same manner.
Okay, I will consider that. I'll just keep it aside. Any other options? This happens in real time, guys. So, okay, now imagine, okay? Imagine you know the password of SSISDB. First case, I'm talking about the scenario where you know the password of SSISDB. In real time, I'm letting you know if you have SSIS packages and if it gets failed over from node 1 to node 2, it will not work on node 2, guys. Be careful, it will not work on node 2. Okay, and it will work only if you open the master key. So usually what we do is we'll go here and we'll create one job. We'll create a job. Okay, so for example, I'm just showing you a demo, but we have a good job. So I'll say open SSISDB, something like that, and come here and new. This job has to be there on all the nodes. Remember, step 1, sorry. So it is, I think, open master key decryption by password. Okay, and let me parse it. I didn't check the command. It's okay, fine. And this has to run whenever the node gets failed over, this job. Okay, so you can do one thing. You can schedule it based on 1480 event, so that it gets, when it gets triggered, I mean when the failure happens, this job would get triggered or get started. If not, you can run this job continuously using this mode. I mean start automatically when SQL Server agent starts. Okay, there are two options, but I don't prefer this option. I usually go with 1480 event. Okay, so now it's there. Okay, now I'm just running this job. Oh, I think I didn't change the context. Sorry. The context should be SSISDB. It's not master.
The password is same for that
Yeah,
SSISDB.
this is the password what we created at the time of creation of SSISDB. So now let me run this job. It's success now, and let me go here and I'll try to do the same thing again. So I will come here and I will try to deploy the packages. I mean, developer is coming now. So these actions will be performed by developer, and these actions will be performed by DBA, means your job. So I'm doing both the actions now. So I'm the developer. You said it's working fine. So you'll go here, developer comes here and is selecting this package. Refresh, next, SSIS, connect. Last time he got the failure. Now we are checking. He again got the same error. Please create the master key or the master key in the session, something, the same key, same error. So if it happens even again after doing this, what you have to do is, I will show you. So what happens in real time is, check this this is a very important option. If you are a DBA, you have to follow this to avoid all these stupid errors. Okay, I cannot stress the importance of it. Once you are done with installation, guys, once you are done with installation, there is one thing that comes automatically. You need not do anything. There is one thing that comes automatically. What is that thing that comes automatically? Service master key. 1 second, guys. Just give me 1 second. Sorry, my baby got up. So there is one thing called as service master key. It gets installed automatically once you are done with installation. If you see here, there is a GUID column, key GUID column. Check this out. This is starting with 789B something. And if I go to node 2 and if I run this, you have to check inside the master, guys. So there will be only one service master key for the entire instance. Remember, there will be only one service master key for the entire instance. And now if you see, this is starting with 21A. So usually this will not be same. Usually this will not be same. It is our responsibility after the installation to make it same across all the replicas. Before you configure always on, ensure that you ensure that this is same across all the replicas. Okay, did you get this point? I will repeat it if not. Hello?
Got it, Vamsi.
Got it.
So have you ever done this step? Usually you will never do this, but ensure that as part of best practices, ensure that SMK is same across all your replicas. So how to do that? It's very simple. Backup the service master key using this command. Let me go there.
Vamsi, this is only for SSISDB or
No, this is for any column level encryption. Doesn't matter. I already took one session on column level column level encryption. So this happens even over there, not just for SSISDB, but I'm showing this time with SSISDB.
Oh,
okay,
okay.
let me show you.
For all encryption?
Not TDE again. It's column level encryption, not TDE.
Okay.
There is a difference. Column level encryption is completely different from TDE.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think this is the video. How to resolve the
Master
missing
key.
database
Yeah.
master key. So this is very, very, very useful in real time. But I don't know like how many people have watched it. It's a different story. So backup service master key. Service master key. So this is how you back up your service master key. It's just a simple command, backup service master key to path, encryption by password, and then you have to restore it. Restore it using restore service master key. So that will help you to have the same SM key across all your replicas. In our case, we don't have, that's fine. So now what I have to do is, I have to again add one more step. If that is same, you need not do anything. If that is not same, just like the scenario what we have here, and I have to add one more step. So what I have to do is, I should say, 1 second.
Vamsi bhaiya, on the job step 1, we open the master key. On the step 2, we are opening the service master key, right?
We are not opening. We are adding the encryption by service master key. For the
Yes,
database master
that
key, we are encrypting again with service master key. So I'm adding one
Okay.
more step here to the job. Okay, click on OK. And I mean, developers are still asking DBS, my packages are not getting deployed. So please help us. That's what they are shouting. So now you came here and you understood the topics, and now you added one more thing. It's working fine now. Okay, so now you are asking developers to check one more time. This is nasty thing. Next, browse. So developer has come to their location and they are trying to deploy their packages. How to move this? I don't want this to appear, but this is always popping up. Okay. Next, and now I'm clicking on deploy. Hope it should work fine this time. Let's see. Okay, it went fine. So why I got this problem? I will let you know. If it is there on node 1, you will never find this, you will never get this problem. Means the place where you have created the SSISDB, if it gets failed over onto that replica, you will never get this problem. But if it moves to another replica, means to secondary replicas, any of the secondary replicas, if you have multiple replicas, you have to be careful. In my case, I have only one secondary replica. If you have multiple secondary replicas, and if it gets failed over to one of your replicas, I mean SSISDB especially. So if developers, if they are trying to deploy their packages, it will not work. It is your responsibility to ensure that SMK is same across all the replicas. That is the first good thing that you have to do. Okay. And second thing, if you are not done this, at least you should add this second line. And this has to be deployed as a job so that if it gets failed over, you need not do anything. These actions has to be done by every DBA. Okay. You got the point?
Yes, Vamsi, got it. Vamsi, now can you please cross check both on both the replicas SMK is same?
No, SMK we didn't copy, right? We didn't copy SMK. We are
Okay.
just what we are saying to SQL Server is, I opened the SMK, sorry, I opened the database master key, and now you encrypt it with my Node 2's SMK, not with Node 1's SMK.
Okay, okay, got it.
That's what we did. Okay, this is fine. So this happens in real time. And the first scenario, what I told you is, you are aware of the password. Okay, you are aware of the SSISDB password. At the time of creation of SSISDB, there is one password that you made use of, right? So you are aware of that password. Now the second scenario, imagine you don't know the password of SSISDB. Then what will you do? That is our second scenario. Okay, so now I will fail it over again to node 1. I will remove this job, or else I will do one thing. I will say instead of 143, I will say 243. Okay, so now if I try to deploy it, let me fail it over again. Here, there will not be any problem. On node 1, you will never face any problem because on the node 1, you have created that database SSISDB. So it will have everything. You will never face any problem, usually, if you don't mess up with any symmetric keys. Otherwise, you will get problem even over there. Yeah.
We deployed the second package on the node 2, and
Yeah.
again we fail back to node 1, Vamsi Bhaiya. So again, this second package will execute smoothly on the node 1, right?
It will. So imagine I will create one more second package, right? Okay, let's go over there. Where is it? Let me refresh. Salesperson, I think. Okay, so I'm saying execute. Let's see. If I execute this, if you get any errors, that's fine. Oh, I got this error again. See, because now it carried over with SMK of secondary node. Okay, so that's why we are getting this error again on node 1. So that is the importance of SMK. If you don't make it same, you will get this error every now and then. So now what I have to do, again, I have to create one more job here on the node 1, and I have to do the same thing. So I will script out this job. Okay, and I have the password with me. So I will first, for the first scenario, I'm making sure that password is same. Otherwise, it will not work. Where I'm doing, no, not on node 2, node 1. I have to do this on node 1. Okay, it's done. So now if I go and run this job, what is that? Open SSISDB, right? So it will get executed. And now if a developer execute that package, it should work fine for him. I think this is the one. If you get any errors here, it's fine. Okay, it's no errors. So it worked fine. So now you got the importance of having to maintain same SMK across all the nodes, right?
Yeah.
Now the second scenario, you don't know the password of SSISDB. What will you do in such case? So now come here and I will do one thing to mess it up. I will change the password. Imagine that you don't know the password. So for that reason, I'm changing that to admin 243 instead of 143. Okay. Now I will fail it over to node 2. And as I told you, that job will get triggered automatically upon failover. So if you want that to happen, you have to create 1480 alert, and just like this, very simple. Just go here and create an alert for 1480. So AG failover, and the event number, error number is 1480. Okay, just create like this, and if it happens, you have to say execute the job open SSISDB. That's what you have to do in case of any failovers. And if you wanted to get notified, you can notify your operators. It's your choice. Okay, so now it got failed over, and imagine this job got triggered. Start the job. It will fail now because that is not the right password. Okay, so it's failed. Okay, now you don't know the password, and developer is trying to deploy their package. And what will you do in such case? So it says the key is not encrypted using the specified decryptor. Please create a master key. Okay, developer came now and he wants to deploy the package. So he's going there and he's trying to deploy the package. Let me show you that. This happens in real time, right? Is it not? G colon, and let's say, for example, person address. Refresh. Next. Connect. Next. Deploy. So it failed now. So this time it is failing with the same error. Please create a master key or open the master key. You don't know the password. The second scenario now. In the first scenario, you know the password. In the second scenario, we don't know. So what as a DBA that you can do over here? We can talk now so that it will be interesting.
Do we have an option to add password to the current password?
Add password to the current password. How can you do that?
And basically we have option in database master key, right? If you forgot the database master key, we will add a new password, right?
If you forgot the password, you can add a new password. Okay, let's do that. So someone said that. Let's give it a try. Alter database SSISDB, add encryption by password. Let's say I'm giving new password. Okay, this is my new password. So I'm doing that. I add encryption. What is that command? Alter database. I'll check that. Alter master key, add encryption by password. Okay. Alter master key, add encryption by password. So as someone told me to add one more password, I'm doing that. So again, if I'm trying to do that, it's not happening. Just give me 1 second, guys. So now I don't have such option. So what should I do now? To do anything, it is saying open the master key password and you don't know the password of SSISDB.
What about regenerate the password?
Okay, so regenerate master key. Let's try that. What is that? Alter
Master key.
Master key regenerate. Let's check that command. So we have alter master key regenerate option. So regenerate option, we have saying regenerate with encryption by password. So let's copy that syntax. Okay, copy. Now I'm coming here and not master SSISDB. So let's make use of the same thing, some password. So I'm trying to do the same thing, regenerate, and let's see. Again, the current password cannot be decrypted because that is not the right password. So 2 options we tried, it's not working. Now you will search entire internet and they will mention few steps. I will try to do that. It might work, it might not work, depending upon your search. And what else? Tried this option, it's not working. Tried this option, it's not working. Are we gone then? Everyone is silent, I don't know. So we are gone. That's what you are saying. So what I will provide you a solution. Okay, don't mess up with force command. Okay, there is one thing called as force here, but don't use that. I strongly recommend not to use that because it will regenerate everything and you will mess up so many things. So force, I'm against force. If there is no option at all, then just like in internet, if you search, I'm saying you definitely people will say go with force option. So if you force it, it will again wipe out all the contents and it will come up with fresh things. So if there are any dependencies with other databases or with any other stuff, you will lose that. Don't go with force. Okay. So in real time, if it happens and you don't know the password of SSISDB, it will happen definitely in real time because few DBAs will never save the password of SSISDB. The person who created the SSISDB, he might have forgot and he might have left the organization. If that is the case, you are gone. Okay, definitely if it gets failed over, you don't know how to resolve this. That is the case. Yeah.
Same thing happened over at my organization. I asked the developer to just recreate the packages on the another server. That's it.
So this happens quite regularly. What you have to do is someone said alter master key, add encryption, adding the secondary password. Okay, this will work. This will work, but only in few situations. I will let you know. So how to make this work. Okay, now what I will do is in real time, I'm letting you know the solution real time. So this is not working on secondary node, right? So what I will do is I will go to the primary. Okay, and I will fail over. Because if I try to do this on primary, it will not work because SSISDB is read only, right? So it will not allow us to do. So I will go to the primary node, the node where you have created the SSISDB. Okay, and then you can run this command. Let's go here. Okay, now it went successfully. Now what you have to do is you have to remove the database from always on secondary. Okay, you have to remove this. There is no option, guys. I'm letting you know the best option without messing up with force. Okay, without messing up with force, even if you don't know the password, you can create a new password, but it has to be done only on the node where SSISDB got created. So that's why I came back to node 1 and I created the new password. And now I am removing the database SSISDB from always on. You have to do this. Without that, it's not possible. Okay, so remove it. You will get some errors. Local. Okay, it's fine. It will show something. You need not worry about it. It will not be there. So 1 second. So let me remove from script out this. Okay, let's do one thing. Remove it from primary. For a moment, you have to remove it, guys. for the solution. There is no option. Okay, I removed it from primary. Now take a new backup. Take a new backup on the primary. Let's say g:\log db underscore new dot bak and one log backup. Otherwise, sometimes it throws some errors. SSISDB trn. Okay. So I took the full backup and log backup. And now what I have to do is I have to restore this on secondary replica. I have to copy this from there to secondary node. g:\log, I think new and these two. Copy. Of course, you can do remote restore, but I'm copying. And now try to restore. g:\log new backup. This should be no recovery. If you forgot to do this, again, it will be a problem. And then again, log backup. Okay, we are done. So now you can add your database SSISDB back again to always on. So come here and SSISDB password is required. This time you have to give your new password. Okay. So admin $343 instead of 143. So now refresh it and then click on OK. Connect. Join only because the database is already there. Finish. And now we are done. And now come here and you have to add it back to always on. Okay. So now if it gets failed over, this time you know the password, new password 343. So if something happens, you can do like this. Did you get my point? So if since you are aware of the password, you can create you can save it somewhere and you can ask the developers to do their work. Means they can deploy their packages and you will ensure that you'll make use of this new password instead of the old password which you are not aware. This is what you should do. Don't use force. On the internet they will say go with force. You need not use force. If you can use your brains, we are safe. We are safeguarded. Any questions? These are the two scenarios. The first scenario, we know the password, but you didn't add this job as a job. If that is the case, you have to ensure there is one job that gets triggered automatically upon failover. So only one step is enough, provided if your SMKs are same. If your SMKs are not same, you have to add one more line to this. This is the first scenario. Second scenario, you don't know the password. And if you wanted to overcome this situation, fail it over to the node where SSISDB has been created and then add this command. So it will create a new password and you can remove the SSISDB from always on and you can add it back again using backup or using automatic seeding, whatever it is. Any questions?
Very good, Vamsi.
Okay, it's the second. Okay, we are done with SSISDB. So the next thing is the jobs. Okay, I think in my previous class I discussed about jobs, but I left few things as not in a complete manner. So when I said about jobs, you can sync up the jobs using this PowerShell tools, right? So there is one command by name sync-db availability group, which will sync all the jobs, or you can use copy-dba, something is there. Let me check that. I think it is copy-dba agent job. I think this is the one. So if you have this DBA tools on your machine, you can make use of these commands to copy jobs from primary to secondary. That's fine. If job is not there, it will copy those jobs. So what about the jobs that gets modified on primary, but you forgot to do it on secondary? So I will show you a scenario. Let's open existing jobs. So I will take, what is the primary now? I think the primary is node 1. Okay, fine. So now I'll come here. I have job. Okay, so now imagine developer asks you to modify something inside this job. Okay, so he's coming here and he's saying, okay, DBA, can you change this to some other command? So for example, let's write select star from, I mean, I'm just giving you a demo. In real time, you'll come up with your developer scripts. So I will say select star from sys dot tables. Okay, so this is the command. So I modified it on node 1. So now if I refresh this, and if I refresh this on secondary, do you think it will appear on secondary, that job 3 step, what we modified? It will be old command only. It will never appear on the secondary. So what will you do in such cases to sync up the jobs? Imagine there is difference between syncing up the jobs. The job is already there on secondary. So when you use sync-db availability group, let's check that command. Sync-dba availability group -primary SQL node 1 -secondary SQL node 2. This will run. Let's wait for it. This happens only if you have installed DBA tools. If DBA tools are not there, you will not get this command. I mean, command let. Let's check once it gets completed. Let's see whether it will update the job step as well. So it will sync up so many things, guys. So it is very, very useful. In real time, I told you the importance of this command. So please make use of it. So now let's refresh node 2 and come over here and see whether my job step got changed. Step 2. See, still it not got changed. Whereas on primary, you came here and check the job, second step. See this. This will happen quite regularly in real time. Okay, developer comes to you and he asks us to modify some job step or job schedule, whatever it is. So you will change that, and definitely will forget to do it on secondary replicas. Or else, imagine he asked you to modify some hundreds of jobs. Okay, you did that on primary. Will you go to the secondary, all your secondary replicas, and change each and every job? Oh God, people are not there.
No.
Difficult.
We
Yeah.
are there.
So what will you do in such case? These are all real-time scenario, guys. These are not a stupid class. This is absolutely useful in real time.
And
Okay.
thanks to Vamsi Bhaiya for sharing this very information. Thanks a lot.
That's fine. So now in real time this happens. Even if you change the schedule or job step, okay, this comes into picture. So it is our responsibility to sync that up. So as I told you, this command will work if the job is not there. It will create it on secondary. That's fine, but it will not work for the jobs that got modified on the primary. it will never work. So it is our responsibility to sync that up on secondaries as well. So for that, we have to do with one more script. Okay, I have that script. So once we are done with the class, I will show you. So go to F drive. I think I placed it on F drive. This is the script. Okay, and what it does, I will show you. So let me go to the F drive. I think G drive, F drive. Okay, so what this guy is doing is, so first it will check if there are any differences. If there are any differences, it will check and it will report. If you wanted to sync, you can use this command, do-sync. If you are comfortable with PowerShell, you can understand this code. This is not a great code. This is just a simple code. What he is doing is he's checking the last modified date. Okay, and if it is less than the modified date on the secondary, so he will throw an error. I'll show you, so then you will understand. Let me show sync-agent, and then without syncing, I'm showing you. First, it will throw the errors. I mean differences, not errors. Sorry. So it will check for the differences. Right now, job 3 is different. Why I got this? Something happened. Okay, let's run it from here. SQL node 1, SQL node 2. So what it is saying is the job is fine. There are few jobs. Sorry with the names. I'm always create with stupid names. So it is saying different job. See, it says job is different for job 3. Okay, so it identified the jobs that are different on the secondary nodes or the primary nodes. It will identify, and then if you run that do sync, it will get sync. It will sync up the jobs. Okay, that is what it is doing. So this is the second thing that I wanted to show you to you. Okay, this happens in real time, guys. And also one more thing, I will just throw you a question. Definitely will create linked servers, right? So sync-dba job, that commandlet will sync the linked servers. But imagine those linked servers are tied up with some other drivers, means Oracle or Informix or MySQL or Postgres, whatever it is. So in such case, you have to create a driver. You have to create DSN. Okay, it will be there here. If you go to the 64-bit ODBC driver, so it will appear over here. So what happens, you will create it on primary. So that driver, you will install it on all the replicas, that's fine. But if you forgot to create the system DSN on the secondary replicas, even though linked server is there, if it gets failed over to your second replica, it will not work because you have not created the system DSNs. So again, this is one more thing that you have to make use of when you are failing it over to another replica. You have to sync up all these things, not just databases. You have to sync up logins, DSNs, alerts, operators, proxies, credentials, whatnot, everything. There are so many things that gets deferred on the second replicas. It is our responsibility to sync them up all. So it's not that an easy job, but I don't know how you are managing. So I'm just showing you the things that what I can think of. Okay, so that's what my class is about today. So I'll catch you maybe Monday or Tuesday, depends. Any questions?
No.
So you just need to run do sync. Yeah.
While deploying the SSIS package, every time do we need to open the SSMS as a run as administrator or no need to?
Deploying the SSIS packages, you have to open SSMS, run as administrator. That's what your question, right?
Yeah.
So you can just go to your icon taskbar, okay? And if you don't want, if you forget it, even if you wanted to, for some reason, if you get to forget that, just click on this. So every time you don't need to click on run as administrator. Of course, there are few things that sometimes it might not work. So it's always better to do this so that we'll be on a safer side, right? Why to take a chance?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay, I'm winding it off. Any questions I can take on WhatsApp? If not,
One last question.
Yeah.
If you see the error in that PowerShell output, it's saying like job 3 is new on SQL Node 2, correct?
different job, newer on SQL Node 2.
Yeah.
There is one catch here. I will let you know. Okay, let me show you. Refresh properties. So it is showing last modified as 952. Okay, because we ran that sync-dba script, right? Okay, it tried to modify this job, but it didn't happen. Let me show you. Job 3. This is on primary. So if you see on primary, we changed it at 951. Okay, but since we ran that sync-dba commandlet, it got changed to 953 or 952. So that's why it is showing it's newer on node 2. Okay, if I have not done that thing, definitely it will show up on primary. Okay, let's do the one thing. Let's do one thing. Let's go to the primary and I'll say sys dot. Maybe I'll use views, sys views. Okay, now okay, and if I refresh this properties, now it is showing last modified as 10 o'clock. And on the secondary, refresh. As of now, it is showing 952. Let's run this again. SQL node 1, SQL node 2. Okay, now if you see different newer job on node 1. Okay, if I wanted to sync this, I can sync this up. Let me show you that sync part also. Sync and then what is that command? I forgot. Server A, server B. Okay. It will drop the job and it will recreate based on the last modified date. Now, if I refresh this, it's a job 3, right? What we modified. So now if I come over here and go to steps and go to step 2, it should be sys.views. See? It's getting reflected, right?
Yes. Thank you.
So because we introduced that sync-dba availability group that tried to modify this job, but it didn't happen. So that's why we got the modification data as like newer on secondary. So that's why this script is showing newer on secondary. But in reality, that is not the case. So this job is very important, guys. I use this job quite regularly to sync up all my jobs. So if you don't want all these things, go to 2022 and create it using contained availability groups. So it will take care. You don't need to do all these things. Okay. So
what about if we want to sync a specific job instead of all jobs?
You can use that also. We have sync-db availability group that is there. And even for this job, this script, what I'm showing, you can exclude few jobs. So there is one more thing. I think that is third command. Let me show you. Yeah. So if you wanted to exclude the jobs, job names, just follow the give the job names. If you wanted to include, there is no such script here for the moment. If we want, I can develop this. It's not a big deal. It's just a code that you have to modify within your PowerShell script.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What about reporting service database? Is there any special consideration to include in the availability group?
You can add it regularly without any hiccups, but only thing is if you are maintaining that, what can I say? Let me show you that part. 1 second. Reporting services. What is that? Scale out deployment, right?
Yeah.
If you're having scale out deployment and if you're adding those databases to always on, so you have to do few things. I think I can take this up maybe in our upcoming classes. I will show you, because I cannot do this scale out deployment I don't have that load balancer and other stuff. This has to be done from infra team. So once we are done, I think then we can take up from there. Let me show you that part. I have the scripts for that as well. I mean, I developed in my previous company, so it's there. I think here. Okay, I will show you. I will share the script, and if required, we can make use of it. I don't know why it is slow. Okay, guys, I have to leave because of something. If you have any questions, ping me on WhatsApp.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Vamsi.
Thanks, Vamsi.
Thank you.
Yeah, take care. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Vamsi. Thanks a lot.